This talk is to accompany the final lab, Lab 12 in the Agile course. I'm showing the lab here. It's a lab on Kotlin, but the very last step here includes an extra labreview archive. This labreview is useful to you if you're embarking on your assignment or if you're reflecting on the last several labs we've conducted. And it's a set of projects that are snapshots of each of the final 6 labs. So I'm going to demonstrate how we're going to import this. Just click on labreview here, you'll download a zip file, and then if you expand that zip file, I have it here already, it contains these projects here which mark more or less the completed projects from each of the lab. Lab 8, pacemaker skeleton, Lab 9, pacemaker skeleton, 10 and 11. And also we have 3 new projects over that period. Skeleton client, which appeared in Lab 10. It was updated in Lab 11. And the lab for this week, for the final week, is Skeleton Kotlin. I'm going to show you how to import these projects into Eclipse, and then we're going to run some of them. Now we might do that in a subsequent video. First of all, what version of Eclipse I'm using. Gone to the latest Eclipse here, Eclipse Oxygen. Downloaded it just at the end of middle of December. In the installer, I picked the very first one here, Eclipse IDE for Java developers. So it's a brand new, clean install. Created a brand new workspace, so there's nothing interfering with it. So as we launch the application, we have no projects in our workspace currently. I have installed one plugin, and that plugin came from the Eclipse Marketplace, and it was the Kotlin plugin. You get Kotlin just by entering Kotlin here, pressing install, it's already installed. Let's have a quick look at the version of Eclipse again. This is it here, Eclipse for Java developers 4.7.1.a. And the installation details are here. This is the default Eclipse installation. It's the out-of-the-box version with Kotlin. You can see Kotlin appearing here. To bring a project in then, in empty workspace, we go to Eclipse. We go to import. We go to existing projects into workspace. And then we can browse to where I have the archive unzipped, which is here. And here we can see I'm going to bring in lab skeleton 08 first. Should be recognized as a project because I've included the Eclipse folders in it. Press OK or finish, and the project is coming in gradually. May get some errors initially, but it will eventually resolve itself to a successful compile. Just to note, the project is dependent on Java 8. You see that mentioned here. If you don't have Java 8, then it might struggle to find it, but you can always add the JRE at this point if it's not visible on your project. Okay, we can bring in the others too. So I can do an import and bring in, maybe browse to Eclipse skeleton 8, 9 say, and this will come in as a parallel project, so they're both going to be available. Now 8 and 9 are closely related. 9 is an improvement on 8, so you can just work on 9 if you like later on, but we can bring them all in one by one as we'll do some demonstration work shortly. So I'm going to bring in now a few more this time. We'll bring in 10 and 11, 10. Again, takes a second to compile, and it's compiled, gone okay here. And we can bring in 11. These now are all server projects, which I'll be demonstrating shortly. And I'm also going to bring in the client projects. So we've got skeleton client 10, and we've also got look again where we're at, skeleton client 11. So these are all of the Java projects that we've been building over the last few weeks. I'm going to run them shortly. Before I go on though, let's just bring in the Kotlin client server application. Again, this has been renamed to be Pacemaker Skeleton Kotlin. Press finish here, and if this plugin has been installed successfully, then it should eventually compile, and we're seeing here a slightly different icon visible. Okay, that's getting the project in. To recap briefly, it was a single zip file we downloaded from the final lab here, and I installed a completely fresh Eclipse installation, picking the Eclipse for Java developers install. And the only plugin installed on top of that was the Kotlin plugin. Okay, in the next video we'll do a demo of these various projects.